I'm Doug Richardson, and this is photography the way I see it. Hey YouTube, welcome back. Welcome back to photography the way I see it. Today is going to be a short one. I know I say this all the time that it ends up being 12 minutes, but today is going to be a short one, at least I hope. Today we're going to talk about grain or noise. What is it? We're going to make it real simple today. First we'll start out with grain. Grain basically goes back to the film days where the higher the ISO of the film, the higher the ASA, the more sensitivity, the less the quality. You can start to see what I compare it to sandpaper in your pictures, especially when you make enlargements. The smaller the image, the sharper it is. But if you got into making enlargements, it could start to look a little bit like sandpaper. Okay, now that's the grain. In the film days, that was called grain. Then when we started to get into the digital era, it started to be described as noise. Okay, which means when you go up into your higher ISOs, you get a little bit of the sandpaper look or noise in your photos. However, they do have software that tones that down. I'm not real familiar with a lot of that because that's not something that I did. But that would be the reason that photographers like to stay with the lowest ISO to give them the less noise. Now I'm going to give you two examples, one without the noise and one with. That way you can get an idea. Okay, I'm going to put a picture up here. This is a photograph of my daughter when she was in a high school play. This photograph was taken on an ISO of 200, and I strobed the auditorium, meaning I had two studio lights all the way at the back of the auditorium back there, I don't know, 80 feet or so, if not 100. And I was using ISO 200, and I had a radio transmitter on my camera. I had a receiver attached to the lights. When I would take the picture, it would light up the entire auditorium. So I was really not shooting available light. I was using a flash, but not an on-camera flash. I was using strobes, okay, studio strobes. That's why the picture is nice and clear. The colors are awesome. And if you look at the picture I'm going to put over here, that is not a separate picture. That is a cutout of this picture over here to show you that I blew that up and didn't lose any sharpness. I didn't lose any color, any clarity, anything. And that's ISO 200. I didn't lose anything. Okay, and that was taken, on digital. Both of these photos I'm going to show you is digital. So then, here's the other picture. Now this picture, I would do the picture like I just shot. I did that at dress rehearsal because I had my lights up and I was distracting. I didn't want to ruin the play because I had the strobes going off the whole time because I'd shoot 300 or 400 shots of a play. Okay, so this particular night, for whatever the reason was, I couldn't make dress rehearsal. I had to shoot the play. So there go my strobes. So I didn't have a choice. I had to shoot basically with the exposure of the spotlight. So this was true available light photography. I had a 2.8 lens. My shutter speed was somewhere around, I don't know, 400, maybe 320, somewhere in that range. ISO around 1,000. I don't quite remember what it was. I forgot to look. But it's somewhere around 1,000 in that vicinity. Now, this is the full-size picture over here. But if you look at the picture I'm going to put over here, look at her sweater. You can kind of see it in this one over here before I zoomed in on it. But if you look at this picture on your right, you can see that when I zoomed in and blew that picture up, which was done after the fact, not during the photograph, but the grain got more evident. The picture's not quite as clear. It looks like sandpaper. Okay? That's the difference. That's noise and grain are basically the same thing. It's just one of them's during the film era, one of them's during the digital era, and it does affect clarity, and that's what gives you the incentive to keep the ISO down whenever possible. And believe it or not, that's pretty much all I had for this one. I just wanted to get this done because I have had some questions about that. So thanks again for joining me. Have a great day, and see you on the next one.